right, folks, you ready? I'm ready. I know that. This is about cities and traffic, and this is my car. It's a 1987 Pontiac Safari. I have this car because it costs $1,000 and it runs. It's not clever, it's not green, but it gets me the 10 miles I need to go most days. This Pontiac Safari contributes to traffic congestion every day. Most day, it's responsible for 2 trips. Traffic congestion is something all cities have always had, and will always have. Traffic congestion is one of the lasting conditions in cities, especially healthy cities. As long as we have healthy cities, we will have traffic congestion. For some reason, people think that managing traffic is a way to make cities better, but in my observations, this is not true. One of the few things we can count on, one of the things we can be 100% sure about, is that traffic will get worse. And the better the place we live in, the worse it will get. This is a corner in London. I chose London because I like it, but I could have used Paris or San Francisco or Barcelona or a small place like Davidson or any other city or town and shown you a beautiful picture of that distinctive place. London has a great public transit system. A huge area of London is ideal for pedestrians. London has an aggressive effort to make cycling safer and more convenient, but its traffic is world-class too. This is also London, and I could have shown you a very similar picture from all those other places, Paris, San Francisco, Davidson, wherever, or any other city or town. The best places in the world, the most enjoyable places to live, are choking in traffic. London has one of these, as does Paris and every other big city. It's not whether to have one of these. We should have one of these. There's a minimum number of these everybody should have. We're not done with ours yet, but we probably will be someday. But here in London, the traffic only grows and grows. Great cities always have more traffic. The only real question really left for cities at this point is, what will we have in addition to traffic? This is worth talking about because it's a real problem for most cities, because people, at least the ones that tend to be involved, actually believe that stopping traffic is what city planning should be about. Sometimes people talk about other things and how important they are, things like parks and affordable housing and jobs. But if parks, affordable housing, and jobs create more traffic or parking problems, we'll have none of those. People will stop them immediately. Our thinking about traffic is a mess. We spend considerable time in this thinking, however. Any new building in the city is scrutinized for its traffic congestion. Here's how it works. Every type of thing, every house, every office, shop is determined to generate a certain number of car trips each day. For example, a typical home averages 10 car trips per day. A trip is in one direction, so each trip is just one way, that's a trip. So each building produces X traffic. Then the streets and intersections affected by the building are studied to determine how good they will function after the building is built. This results in a grade. The grade is a level of service. Somewhat familiar, A, B, C, D, E, F. Yes, that's an E, but otherwise it's like you think. An A is excellent and an F is failing. Or in traffic terms, A is acceptable and F is unacceptable. In this world, you can get an FF. This street is an F because the grading works like this. If cars are going fast, you get an A, and if they're going slow, you get an F. You fail if cars are going slow, period. This is unacceptable. You see, the safety of people not in cars is irrelevant. The beauty of the place is not a factor. This post-apocalyptic highway gets an A. That's Road Warrior, folks. It's acceptable. Cars can go fast. In this case, they do. It's actually as simple as that. These studies don't consider anything else, just the speed of cars. Public expectations about traffic as framed by these studies often shape cities more than anything else. They obviously don't stop things from getting done, but frequently they make better things hard to do. It's not that you couldn't build the Flatiron Building at 23rd, Broadway, and 5th, but it would need to be half as tall. Building a place like our own Ansonboro neighborhood would be just fine if half of it was parking. Yeah, bustling streets are pretty good. Yeah, that's all right. But there's some room for improvement in those kinds of places. You don't want too much bustling, as long as the cars can go fast. Seems silly, but these studies are the ones given the most consideration when a project is proposed. And if one tries to explain the shortcoming of these studies, you will quickly be heckled and ignored. I was trying to think of what to talk about tonight, so I decided to talk about traffic. To build great things in the future, we will need to do the opposite of what we've been trained to do by these traffic studies. This is a good way to approach any building project in your city or our city that affects the public realm. Do it the opposite way. In cities, a slow car is not just acceptable, it's desirable and helpful. Buildings that make traffic worse make other things possible. Many opportunities have been lost to great efforts at going from unacceptable to marginally unacceptable. The more we work to improve the unimprovable, the less choices we will have. The only thing that cities can do for traffic is get you and me out of the car sometimes. If rather than 10, each home created 9 or 8 or 7 car trips per day, then there is progress. But for most of us, we won't get out of our car unless the other option is at least as convenient and enjoyable. And you'll remember my car. It's very enjoyable. And as long as we keep futilely trying to make traffic better, we ensure the alternatives will never get better. We squash the great things that are possible but unacceptable by our current standards. As it goes with most things that determine how great our city and any city will be in the future, it's not much about how smart we are with our design and building. In my experience, we are quite capable of creating new things to be proud of. It's not what we can build, but what we will permit to be built. Very capable and serious people will explain why this problem of slow cars is our biggest problem. So unless we, each of us, embrace traffic as worthy of preservation, then we should expect that our best in the future will likely be marginally unacceptable. Thank you.